What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Bianconerizone for what I would say, thank God, almost the last match reaction of the season, because this is becoming embarrassing, like shocking, pointless. It's pointless. Genoa 2, Juve 1. Before the game, before we get into it, like the video, subscribe to the channel as always. Before the game, I said I don't really care. Rest the players. Rest your key players. Allegri didn't. He played a lot of key players, so I expected them to perform, which they absolutely did not. It's the same old. Like, we gave the ball to a Serie B side. Maybe they're not gonna go to Serie B because of what we just did. Maybe they got a lifeline and they're gonna make it. Who knows? But we gave them a chance to stay in Serie A when they shouldn't have had any chances. We are so bad, and the fact that Allegri played, I would say, a lot of the key players, and the way the game panned out, I think it's the worst thing possible ahead of a cup final. Like, this should be or you rest a lot of your key players, or you play them, you win, and you go with a positive feeling into the Coppa Italia final. We did the complete opposite of that. We played and we stunk it out. We absolutely stunk it out. First half, nothing. Keane, good header, nothing. Second half, we could have gone down in the first 30 seconds, like we were sleeping. Dybala, great goal, and then it starts. Dybala unlucky, but then Moise Kean. Before the game, Netfa comes out. He says he's probably going to stay. We expect more from him this season, and then he drops an absolutely shambolic performance. He could have had 4 goals, 3 at least 3. He missed sitters. He missed absolutely sitters. He missed an open goal for the 1-2. He missed. Genoa goes the other way around. Penalty, they win. That's Moise Kean. He was shocking, like embarrassing. Like, I don't care what people say. At this level, playing for this club, you miss those chances. Not 1, 4 of them. Oh boy. Like, we talked about it many times before. Like, he aimed it. He just aimed it, and you cannot rely on him. That's an issue. And I keep saying it with bench players, and I will go into it. I will go into all of them. Bernardeschi came on. I didn't think he touched the ball. Like, he is a player who has absolutely no impact at all. He comes on, he starts, useless. Absolutely a waste of a player, a waste of a wage. And that's my point all along. De Sciglio, backup? Is that a good backup? He cost you 2 goals. Sleeping twice. He cost you 2 goals. He is atrocious. Like, it's awful. And bench players, great. They're on a cheap wage. Ooh, let's have a party. They're on a cheap wage. But they're absolutely crap. They come on. When they play, the level of this team takes an absolutely massive drop. Like it's already not great, the first 11. You bring in those players to make a difference or whatever, see a game out. They don't do that because they're crap. De Sciglio went on loan for a reason. He's not good. Bernardeschi is out of contract for a reason. He's shit. Like, let's be honest. We are trying to not buy Keane for a reason. He's not good. And people are telling me, oh, but he's cheap, Bernardeschi. 2.5, he can do a job. He cannot do a job. He cannot do his main job. For 5 years, he has not done his main job. So what job is he supposed to be doing? People are getting blinded with, oh, it's 2.5 million. Who cares? Who cares? If a player is only on 2.5 million when he's absolutely horrendous. And that's what Bernardeschi is. That's what Keane is. That's what De Sciglio is. And that's what I said when I hear these talks about De Sciglio 25, Quadrado 25, all these things. It's not okay. It's not okay. You tell these players, and I know we cannot replace them, all of them. You tell them you can get 1-year deal +1. You don't want them? Screw it. Go look for another team. Go get your 2.5 million elsewhere. I'll bet you they're not going to get 2.5 million elsewhere because they're not good. Who is going to pay De Sciglio 2.5 million euros to start? No one. Who's gonna pay Bernardeschi 3 million to start elsewhere? Nowhere. Let alone on the bench, because they're crap players. They're crap. Absolutely horrendous players. And this is not good. We can talk about improving the starting 11, which we should. But we talk about, oh, De Sciglio's a sub. He plays 30 games a season. That's not a sub anymore. When you play 30 games a season, you're not a sub player. Like, you're a first team player, a starter. And if that's the quality of a starter of Juve, people want to accept just because of because of his low wages, then we are on a massive decline. Like, one of the worst declines I've seen. If we as fans are going to sit here and accept players being absolutely bang average, but it's okay because they're on a low wage, they're not going to complain. I'm going to say it. Giovanni Albanese tweeted out something today saying something about it's more about football, like it's just the way you act and stuff like that. Basically, that's not it. Like, what are we even talking about? Just because you have a good attitude, you can stay at the club. It doesn't matter. You're absolutely shit. It doesn't matter anymore. I don't get it. I don't get the propaganda. What's doing the round now on Twitter saying, oh, but players are respectful. I don't give a shit, you know? Yeah, you can be respectful, but what's the point if you don't deliver? Look at these players today. Ake came on in a few minutes. He did more than Bernardeschi. I don't think Bernardeschi touched the ball. Keane, how many chances? Like, he missed a tap-in. He missed an open goal. De Sciglio, twice. Not once, twice. I keep saying not once, twice. Same thing. Caught in his back. Has no idea what's going on. 2 goals. And people can say, oh, but we wrapped up top 4. Fine, but Allegri didn't set up his team like that. If he started with Ake and those players, and Bernardeschi, I would be like, yeah, he doesn't care. But he cared. And this is not good, because you can see Dybala's reaction after on the bench. You can see Vlahovic coming off being absolutely frustrated. Arthur, I think everybody saw his game. And I'm sorry that everybody needed to watch that game. Abysmal, Arthur. Absolutely shocking. I think that's one of the worst signings we made in I don't know how many years. Because he's horrendous. He's an horrendous footballer. He has no idea what's going around. Like, he has no idea where to go with the ball besides play it easy and sideways. And not even that was possible for him today. Not even that. It was just horrendous. Rabiot, I think he played a pretty okay game. And then he does that in the box. He does a Bentancur against Porto. We should have conceded at that point. We didn't. Miretti, 18 years old. The only player who thinks actually, you know what? I'm not going to take 5 touches. I'm just going to play 1 touch. Quadrado. He needs 10 touches before he makes a decision on the ball. And that's why when I keep saying these players 25, 24, no. And nobody will convince me otherwise. And I get we cannot replace them all. So I'm not saying you need to move them all on, because that's impossible in the summer. I'm not stupid. But you don't need to commit 3 years to them when they're absolutely garbage. They're garbage footballers. They left for a reason. They're on a decline. Everybody can see it. It's absolutely shocking if you make that decision. If in the summer, the club says, or not even in the summer, after Coppa Italia, apparently, is what Nedved said, you come out and you say, you know what? Bernardeschi, you can get a new deal. 3 years. De Sciglio, 3 years. We are going nowhere. We're going nowhere. Because people think, oh, they're subs. They play 30 games a season. That's no subs anymore. That's starting material. When they are not even sub material. If you want to go where you go. These players have no impact besides a negative impact on our results. I don't understand how people can accept that, because people are like, again, everybody has his own opinion, but you don't need to convince me or say I'm wrong when I can see De Sciglio do that, Bernardeschi doing absolutely nothing, Keane doing that, Arthur doing that, even Rugani. Like, these players, they left for a reason. Some of them are on decline for a reason, age-wise, and we are handing out long-term deals just because they're lowering their wages. They're good in the locker room. They don't make a lot of trouble, but they're absolutely shit. But for some reason, that's okay. Being absolutely crap is okay at the moment. Playing for this club, being bang average, below average, whatever you want to call it, is acceptable. Not just for the club. I see a lot of fans accepting it, and that's the worrying part. When you actually start accepting these things, that means we are in big trouble as a club, you know? Because at the moment, nothing looks positive. The only positive thing is somehow, I keep saying it, we made top 4. I still have no idea how we made it. We made top 4 somehow. That's the only quote-unquote positive result of the season. Positive thing. Other than that, there are not many positives this season. And I don't want to say none, but there are not a lot of positives. And this game, like I said, you played for a win, because I see that in the lineup. The way they spoke before the game, you lost that in that manner. That's the worst pre-game preparation before a Coppa Italia final against your biggest rival, Inter, who actually made a big comeback, who had a boost. Ahead of one day, there's no positive feeling. And the locker room, you can see that after the game, they were deflated, they were blaming each other. There's nothing positive going into the Coppa Italia game. You know, nothing. Not that I expected us to win. I said we were going to win just because I said it in January before we beat, who was it? Sassuolo. I said it, we're going to win. But if you just take a step back, nothing tells you we're going to win on Wednesday. This was just shocking, you know? I think everybody is happy the season is over. But then you sit back and you're like, is it going to be much better next season? Really? When you hear what you're going to hear, choosing what you hear at the moment, what you're hearing, Keane is going to say, Rabiot's not going to leave. Sandro, very difficult. Bernardeschi, new deal. De Sciglio, new deal. Quadrado, a long-term deal. Gatti replacing Chiellini. All these things, like at the moment, there's no positivity. The only positive thing is we made top 4 and the season is finally over. On Wednesday, after Wednesday, it's over. The Lazio and the Fiorentina game, whatever, you know. Yeah, gonna watch it just because I'm gonna watch it. But after Wednesday, the season is finally over. And I think even the players are thinking that. Some of the good players. The other players, I don't know what they're thinking. I think they're thinking we scammed the club and giving us new money. Fresh money when nobody's giving us that. Absolutely shocking. But yeah, that's it. I'm gonna leave it like this. Thanks everyone for watching. Like the video and subscribe to the channel. I will see you in the next one. Ciao.